Check, check, 1, 2, check, check. Check. Now the blessings arrive every day. Since I made room for, I made room, I made room, I made room for grace. Opened up, opened up, opened up a space.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I beg your pardon? Sure. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Lou. Good morning. Do you have your mic? Oh, yes, I'm doing wireless. Okay.
Good morning, everyone here and at home, and welcome to this rainy but beautiful and finally cool Sunday, July 5th. Here at Unity's Spiritual Center of Windsor, we welcome all those that want to attend with us in person and also graciously join us online. I'm Adam Bergamin, your host for this morning, and I'm joined by our wonderful co-host and co-speaker today as well, Reverend David Old. Reverend David and I will be having this third annual Divine Conversation today in the spirit of Pride Month, title talked, Living as the Truth of Who We Are. And we are so glad you are here for it today.
You know, here at Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, we draw from the universal wisdom at the heart of the world's spiritual traditions. We are progressive, inclusive, spiritually grounded community committed to awakening, transformation, and compassionate action. So wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we are delighted that you joined us today. And so I'm delighted to have you playing so many roles today. You're hosting, you're going to be a guest speaking with me in a divine conversation, and you're providing us music.
It's my unity moment where all the planets line up once a year on this first Sunday of July, and I do love it though. So thank you for having me and trusting me. Before we move into our opening prayer, we want to share a few ways you can stay connected, grow, and be part of this beautiful community this week and throughout the summer. Today, from 12:30 to 2 p.m. right here in the sanctuary, Nelson Ng will be facilitating the Unity Sessions monthly drumming circle. Nielsen, if you're here or upstairs getting ready, we'll make sure we point Nielsen out before the end of service, and you can meet back here for 12:30.
So tomorrow evening from 6 until 8:30 p.m. in the hospitality room, Tammy Malosh will be holding a divine feminine sacred circle. That's our women's group. So they meet every other Monday, and tomorrow is the day. On this Tuesday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., right here in the sanctuary, the String Theory Music Group, facilitated by Nelson Ng, will be meeting again for the next 3 Tuesdays only. There will be no string theory for the rest of summer, but it will be returning again in the fall. So again, the next 3 Tuesdays, is there correction, love? Okay. So we're also going to have a drumming circle hosted by Christopher out in Essex, and that's from 7 to 8 p.m. So we'll additionally add that to the infamous amount of programming we have here at Unity. We always have something beautiful going on, so thank you for sharing that announcement. So commencing this Wednesday, July 8th, from 7 until 8:30, Sue Onishuk will be facilitating a Course in Miracles study group on Zoom. If you wish to join the group, you will need to email her at her address, and her address is on the flyers around here. You can find it there. There's flyers all around. Sue's not here. She hasn't quite made it back. She's been traveling, but she will be here for that 8 o'clock. The 7 o'clock Course in Miracles. Next Sunday in the sanctuary, Reverend David will be speaking once again, and his title talk is The Radiant Self, Our True Identity. And today's prayer chaplain is Judy Chandler. Judy, will you raise your hand? Judy will be available after the service upstairs in our prayer room, and for anyone that would like someone to pray with them, if you have a prayer request, see Judy. She'd be delighted to pray with you. And remember Silent Unity. Silent Unity is our 24/7 prayer line. You may call it at any time for personal prayer at 1-800-NOW-PRAY. And more information about these activities, plus a lot of others, are available on our website and also in our newsletter. And then also we have flyers throughout the center here. So just check out the flyers, check out our newsletter, and check out our website for the various activities going on. So now I invite you let's open our service here in prayer. So if you will, just take a moment as we open our hearts and we open our minds to the one presence and the one power. So we pause in this moment to recognize that one presence that's always here, within us, around us, and expressing as us. Nothing needs to be invited in, for the divine has never been absent.
It simply awaits for our awareness, our openness, our remembering. And as we begin our time together this morning, may our hearts soften, may our minds quiet, and may our whole being awaken to the truth of who we are in you. Bless this service with joy, connection, and authenticity. Let every song, every word, and every moment help us remember our inherent wholeness and the sacredness of each person gathered here. So we rest in the presence that has always been here and will always be here, steady, loving, and alive within us. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend David, for that opening this morning. And for those who are willing and able, I invite you to stand and join me in our opening songs. So, as always, I'm just going to take the long walk over here. Wow, we're here.
Is it raining out there? Just a wee bit.
And there we go. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Quick change. Really, this service means a lot to me every year. This is the third year we've done this divine conversation in the spirit of all things pride and celebrating the rainbow. So thank you, Reverend David, for having me today. It's a special Sunday, no matter rain or shine. And I'm excited for these selections today and would love to hear as many voices as possible. So this is our first one by Karen Drucker, and this is a chant. So when I sing the first line, I would love to hear you say it back, not just to me, but to yourselves, and also everyone at home. As always, I can hear you. So I'd love to hear you this morning. This is the Praising Prayer by Karen Drucker. Same line is the same. We just changed the one word for every line. So please join in. Oh, raise my life in the name of love. I praise my life, oh, raise my life in the name of love. I praise the world, I raise the world in the name of love. I praise the world, I raise the world in the name of love. I praise my neighbor, I praise my neighbor in the name of love. I praise my neighbor, I raise my neighbor in the name of love. I praise my sister, I raise my sister in the name of love. I praise my sister, I raise my sister in the name of love. I praise my brother, I raise my brother in the name of love. I praise my brother, I raise my brother in the name of love. I praise my family, I raise my family in the name of love. I praise my family, I raise my family in the name of love. I praise the children, I raise the children in the name of love. I praise the children, I raise the children in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. myself, I'll raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I'll raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I'll raise myself in the name of love. I praise my life, I'll raise my life in the name of love. I praise my life, I'll raise my life in the name of love. I praise myself, I'll raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I'll raise myself in the name of love. You all sounded wonderful. Thank you. What a gift to hear you. I love when I get to hear you all. So thank you for singing. I really appreciate it. I love singing, but you hear me every week. You hear me all the time. I like hearing you all sing together and at home as well. As we explore the truth of who we are, all of those particular words that changed every line of the song we just did, our relationships, we praise everyone, our neighbor, our sister, our brother, each other, ourselves, love, the world. That is what this conversation and this service is about, is affirming the truth of who we are. And sometimes, I love the word grace because I've mentioned many times my Nona's name, Nona Grazia, Grace, that this word has grown with me in my life, and that we also, with that journey of affirming, need to show and demonstrate grace to ourselves and each other. And it's not about saying good job or I'm sorry to myself, but I feel grace falls somewhere in the middle of that, along the journey of affirming. And so I wanted to pick this as our second one. So please join and find that place where you'd like to show grace in yourself and to someone else along this journey. This is I Made Room for Grace by Sue Riley. Used to think I had to have my own way, could do everything on my own, living my life like a one-woman play, feeling confused and alone. I held on tight to the life that I knew, till it wasn't the life I remembered. Finally admitting I hadn't a clue, opened my arms and surrendered. And I made room for grace. I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day, since I made room for grace. I wanted to live without making demands, asking for help when I need it, being happy just doing the best that I can. When I stumble, I won't be defeated. Since I made room for grace, I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day. I made room for grace. I made room. I made room. I made room for grace. Opened up, opened up, opened up a space. If I had insisted on all that I wanted, I'd see I had sold myself short. But when I stopped resisting, I got what I needed and so much more. Since I made room for grace, I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive since I made room for grace. I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day since I made room for grace. Since I made room for grace. Since I made room for grace. Thank you, thank you. Love that little tune. Beautiful. I love you, Sue Riley. I hope you're watching service sometime. And Karen Drucker. Can't wait to meet you.
Thank you, Adam. I do like that song. Yeah, we haven't sung it maybe once, maybe. Yeah,
Once or twice, yeah.
It's very pretty.
It's part of the new list.
It's very pretty. So thank you for that. Unity teaches that each person is a unique individual expression of the divine, and that our thoughts and our feelings help shape our experience of life. So unity was founded on prayer, and through affirmative prayer and meditation, we raise our consciousness, and we remember our oneness with the divine and with each other.
Our affirmation for this month is, I awaken each day to the truth of who I am. If you could please repeat that with me. I awaken each day to the truth of who I am.
And now Adam has a special song for us.
Thank you, thank you. Again, happy Sunday, July 5th. What a wonderful blessing to be back for a third year for this particular Sunday. Every year I look forward to this first Sunday of July, and I'm so happy that we're able to have it today, Reverend David, but also with such good news with this talk today. This talk is going to be rooted in a lot of positivity, and we want to take it and just give it to you all and hope you can embrace it and send it forth. So a lot of song choices for solo today for this particular service, and I took a moment and I thought, comedically, I'm like, what would Judy Garland sing? However, I thought Judy, as I wear, hold on, I'm just going to show everyone if you don't mind. I always wear up for the service my ruby red shoes. I found them at the bin store. $6.99. They'll be in the Smithsonian in 100 years. Okay. But I thought, what would Judy sing if she wasn't singing one of her own songs? And I thought, you know what? Today was a day for the great, the infamous, the delightfully confusing but heartfelt Stephen Sondheim. And I thought, why not pick a selection from the wonderful musical West Side Story? So this is the infamous song. So my spirit animal today is Judy singing Stephen Sondheim for today's. So this is Somewhere from West Side Story, and I sing this from a place versus the actual musical. I want this to be a longing. I want this to be where queer people know they can get to and believe, just like Over the Rainbow, we're here, but I can see where I'm going. It's not just invisible. It's not just blurry. There is light. So today I want to sing it from that perspective. Somewhere, somehow, someday. There time for us. Someday a time for us. Time together with time to spare. Time to look, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving. There's a place for us, a time and place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand, I'll take you there. Somehow, someday, somewhere. Thank you. Thank you. May Stephen Sondheim strike me down if I did not do a great job. Thank you. That means a lot. Appreciate it.
You did do a great job on that. Yeah, you really did, yeah.
But there was thunder. I was like, if we're gonna have, okay. Judy's watching.
So here at Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, we have a global vision. Will you please speak it with me? Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
We also have a sacred mission. Would you please say it with me? We inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world.
And our personal statement of being, will you say that with me? I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all. And so it is. Well, good morning, everyone. Good to see some new people here, and even with all the rain and everything, we got people to come out. So we're delighted to see you. So this is, as Adam said, this is our third year to do a divine conversation at this time of year together. And I want to acknowledge first the beautiful energy that has already been created in the room this morning. Adam, the way you led the music was really nice today, and especially your solo Somewhere. That is really my favorite song from West Side Story, for sure. And I think that's really, for me, it opened up sort of something tender. I mean, I saw a few people out there that had tears in their eyes because it means so much. That song carries a longing that every human being understands. The longing to belong, the longing to be seen, the longing to live freely as ourselves, the longing to find that place for us, not somewhere far away, but right here within our own spiritual identity. And that brings us perfectly into our theme today for our divine conversation, living as the truth of who we are. Because at the deepest level, beneath every role that we play, beneath every identity we carry, beneath every story that we've lived, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Everything else, our labels, our histories, our personalities, are expressions of that deeper reality. Beautiful expressions, yes, sacred expressions, but not the whole of who we are. And while Adam and I are part of the LGBTQ community, and while Pride season certainly has personal meaning for us, this conversation is not only about the LGBTQ identity. It is about authenticity as a spiritual practice for everyone. Because the truth is, every one of us has had to learn how to live honestly, openly, and courageously for ourselves. Every one of us has had moments where we hid or shrank or doubted our worth. And every one of us has had moments when we stepped into the truth and felt the freedom of that. So today, it's about awakening. It's about remembering that who we are is holy. It's about living from the Christ within, the divine identity that transcends every role that we play. So, Adam, thank you for being here with us today, not just for this conversation, but for all the other ways that you're serving today. And thank you for opening our hearts this morning with your music. So, I want to begin with the spiritual frame for today. Pride at its heart is not political, it is spiritual. It is the practice of authenticity. It is the courage to live openly, authentically. It is the remembrance that who we are is holy. So, Adam, come and sit down and join me here. Again, thanks you for having this conversation with us again today. So, my first question is, when you think of pride spiritually, not socially, not politically, what comes up for you?
So good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. It's very special whether you're here or at home. We appreciate you for tuning in and just even being open to this conversation, whether it's something you celebrate in your life, others you celebrate, or if this is all new and brand new to you. We thank you for tuning in and being open and willing. As I as I said at the beginning, I said, who am I channeling today? And as a queer community, we are nothing without our icons. We are nothing without our people that have advocated for us, like Judy, who have sang and told stories that are mirrors unto ourselves. And for me, it's connecting with what makes you feel queer on a spiritual level, whether that's music, that's art, that's nature, that's poetry, whether you create it or whether it's other. As a queer community, art is our compass. And in all of its forms of, and not just art, but expression. So that for me is how we really feel that deep, deep heart line is how we express throughout this life. And that happens to be through other people's songs and stories or creating our own as well.
Yeah, it's about finding your authentic self, recognizing who you truly are, and then having the courage to make that, part of your lived expression.
And when someone's brave enough to be visible and you see yourself and you're like, I'm not only looking at the person I'm seeing a mirror. I'm looking into a mirror. When other people are brave and visible, we feel seen and heard.
And that's something that every person in this room can relate to, I believe, because we all have parts of ourselves that we've had to learn to honor. We've all have truth that we've had to grow into. We've all had identities that we had to claim. When we live as our true selves, we participate in the awakening of the world. I truly believe that. So, Adam, last year you shared, actually the last couple of years, you've shared your personal journey. Today I'd like to touch on it only briefly, not the events, but the meaning. So when did you first sense that your identity was something sacred rather than something to hide?
It's funny because I actually drove by my Nona's house a couple weeks ago with my friend, and we were out in LaSalle, and I said, Robin, could we stop by? We haven't been back since it's taken other ownership. And I looked at that apple tree where I used to go up in the tree house and look at the sunset. And I knew I just felt differently about this world, this universe, and this existence. I knew that I was a creature, a beautiful creature of ritual, of spirituality, of connection with nature and music and myself. And I think back to that young age, and it was, even though I'm a city boy, all the family was always outside of Windsor. So the beauty of Windsor, Essex is that you're city, but then you're surrounded by all the towns and county. So I spent a lot of time outside of the city, and that absolutely fostered and cultivated my deep relationship with spirituality, my deep relationship with myself. And I find spirituality in nature. I find spirituality in music. I find spirituality in time with myself and meditation. And so from a very young age, I remember in that apple tree looking at a sunset, and I was like, yeah, I feel different, but I like it. And then came the layers of my identity and other ways as well, including sexuality and identity with the queer community. But I think that apple tree, ironically being Adam.
So how has your spiritual life shaped your journey? Not just as a gay man, but as someone learning to live authentically.
Prior to performance art, through the perspective of drag, the stage name is disco, and what the disco ball means is a whole other conversation. But for me, it takes everything in and shoots everything back out, right? That's what a disco ball is about. And before performance art came into my life, it was through the things that I mentioned. Leading into performance art, and that includes doing theater in high school. Believe it or not, I was scared to sing. I ran out of an audition for a talent show about to sing Josh Groban. Could you believe that? I was like, there's no place like home. So I was doing backstage stuff. Before my first role on stage was Little Shop of Horrors. I love that musical so much. But helping out with other productions and whatnot, Wizard of Oz, Blood Brothers, Hansel and Gretel. So once I realized that performance art could be this thing that you create a moment, and I'm like, oh, this is divine. I don't know why I do this, but when like the crown chakra and that of this universe connects to our worldly experience, I'm like, that's it. We'll have a conversation about it later, Ken, if we can explain it more in a physics way. But there's something about that I'm like, oh, that is like, here's the point here, here's the point here, and there is the journey, there's the connection. And it's being able to create a moment. I think as queer people, we live for moments. You'll hear a lot of queer people at Pride or drag queens or whatnot be like, yes, queen, that gives me life, yes. And it's an expression of like, you gave me life in that moment because our journey's been so challenging. Thank you for making me feel. That's why we have those moments and those isms. So before performance art, it was everything that I said, and now it still is. Plus, I get to take everything from my moments in nature, my moments just intimately at a piano in a still room, or meditating on a walk with myself, or going back to sacred spaces like seeing a home or a park or a place I haven't returned to in a while that does look different, that is different than what it was before, yet still there and still the same. Creating moments. And when you create those moments, you affirm that, like, I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm also, like, this is happening. Like, this experience is tangible, even though it is divine and it is spiritual. And that connection to do that on stage, whether it's with a voice, whether it's fully done up and creating a perspective of performance or referencing a great artist being your spirit animal,
That's all of it for me.
I-
All that and a bag of chips.
Yeah, I think this is universal. Every one of us has had to learn to see our own identity as sacred. Every one of us has had to move from fear to love to truth. This is the human journey.
And those two things, one of my favorite artists, Marina from Marina and the Diamonds, has one of her albums, Love and Fear. And I just adore what she explored on that album particularly, and the dichotomy, and that we are just the line in the yin yang, right? We are just, we're figuring it out, we're walking that path, and we're gonna have these two things in a balancing act. And I also feel that we cannot disregard the opposite. We can't, I mean, it would be wonderful to have a life without any fear, and for everything to be completely great, or for everything not so great. That would not be a great life. But I feel that's what makes this experience unique to what we know it is when you do something and then you're brave and you're like, oh my goodness, that feels incredible. That feeling of, yes, I've said this, I've done this, I've affirmed this, and it's just the best feeling in the world. It really, really is. So when you do conquer fear, there's also that you get to harness. It takes a lot of work. It takes courage. It takes a lot of belief in yourself and bravery too. Our community is brave and courageous and affirming. But I also celebrate all the wins and all the victories every time.
You know, one of the things I love about your journey is how drag became a doorway into spiritual expression for you. You know, you've been doing drag, if I remember correctly, for 9 years already, and for a third of that, you've been a member here at Unity. Yeah. So, and what does drag allow you to express that everyday life doesn't?
Going back to moments, I kind of feel as a queer person, I'm middle of the road. I connect with a lot of the older generation of queer community. I grew up watching, you know, as time goes by, Keeping Up Appearances with Hyacinth Bouquet. I know classic TV shows, Ed Sullivan. I know Judy Garland, but I also still do connect with a lot of new age and modern too. But I feel I walk that line as a queer person where, you know, something old, something new, blah, 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 something blue. And a little bit of this and that, you know, a good plate of food. I don't just want to say only this at the buffet or that. I think it's wonderful to have a little bit of everything. And, you know, connecting with these moments with people that know, it's just when someone comes up to you and says, that's everything I needed. Like, there's been some moments where people are just like, especially I told this before, previous conversations on this Sunday, where I've had particular performances, for example, during Roe v. Wade, where I had women in the crowd come up to me and say, thank you for that, for the way I created the performance I did. I remember, Ken, we talked about it last year as well. And when someone feels really seen and heard and affirmed, I'm like, that's when the divine comes into performance. It's beyond just, okay, whatever, I get it. Beautiful drag queen, you're performing, applause, great. But for me, applause just means that I've done my job, right? I'm one of a billion entertainers that have come before, but I want to make you feel something.
So I have a question for you. Do you experience drag as a spiritual practice? And if so, how?
Absolutely, because of the performance art perspective. And I mean, well, what we do, we host, we do comedy, we lip sync. Some of us also sing live. Some people dance, do the splits. Some people have really cool magic tricks. You can kind of bring any art form into it. It's like one of the most open art forms because you could come into it with any background. Like a chef needs to know, like if you're gonna work with good cuts, you need to know how to use a knife, right? You gotta have knife skills, but it's a kitchen that you can just kind of have any background and make an awesome meal in that kitchen with all these different backgrounds. So now creating from perspective, paying attention to what's going on, and yes, politics, pop culture, my own personal life, you know, within a community. June's such a great month for particular performances and regarding Carousel Nations and fireworks and everything that mean a lot to me. that's such a beautiful place to create performance art. And I remember reading about it in high school with my drama teacher. I'm like, what is performance art? And for me, it's about a perspective and creating a moment that you have an idea of what you want to make happen, and you get to create this story, this concept that is kind of strung through the whole thing. And whatever that is, I want to make sure you feel it. Maybe not understand it all the time. We are delighted by a lot of things in life that confuse us, and it's wonderful, but we want to make people feel. So creating from that place is spiritual for me, because it comes from the depths of a heart, the depths of a soul, particular chambers of the heart. I've mentioned a lot the last couple of years that connecting with my cousins over in Italy opened a chamber in my heart that I never even knew was I know it was there, but it never opened that way. And you get to take all those nuggets, all those ingredients, and create something really, really special that feeds your audience as much as it feeds you. Of course, physically draining, but you know you did a good job if you're drained at the end of a show or performance. But when your cup is full and you know you filled other cups with your overflow, that's it for me.
Okay. One more question about your performance in drag. What happens when you step into a character, and then what happens when you step outside of it?
For me, disco is a superhero costume. Some people, as we have this conversation, I will say, drag reveals who you are. And for some people, through the process of drag, they've realized, okay, I am trans. This is not just something I want to put on as an art form. I actually want this to be me every day. There's the theatrical part. People step into it on Broadway, right? It's roots in Shakespeare, and then take it off. Because as much as I love putting it on, it also feels great to take it all off. I had a show last night, and oh my goodness, it felt so good. But there's that, again, that challenging and getting to a journey of something and then accomplishing it, whether it's fear or challenge or triumph, it feels great to accomplish. It all depends on your relationship with it. For me, it's a superhero costume. That's a more fabulous version of myself. Some people do completely step into a character. They love living in the character for that bit of time, because it's a beautiful escapism. It's a beautiful thing that allows them, the artists, to make sense of the world along their journey, figuring out, okay, and now I'm queer, I know this. Oh, drag, this gay art form, what is drag? You know what I mean? And then practicing it and realizing, oh, drag reveals who you are. It will always reveal who you are. For me, it's a superhero costume. And with amazing people I've met here like Maria, that clothes are just a reflection of everything within, despite being physical. I've worn this jacket to Italy with my cousins every time I've went, and I couldn't imagine not wearing anything else. Also, thank you, Mariette, for the beautiful little rainbow unity pen she dropped off for me to wear today. It all depends how you feel, and for me, it is a superhero costume because I'm not fundamentally different. I just get to take flight even more when I do put it on.
Great way to put it, yeah. So you see, this isn't just about drag. It's about the ways each of us finds expression for our soul. For some, like you say, it's music. For some, it's art. For some, it's caregiving. For some, it's leadership. For some, it's just a quiet presence for some. The form is different, but the truth is the same. So, moving on, one of our core values at Unity Spiritual Center Windsor is inclusion, not as a social stance, but as a spiritual practice. Adam, what has it meant to you to serve in a spiritual community that is openly affirming?
I was looking forward to this part of the talk after our wonderful chat the other day. Leading into my journey with Unity, I had not been part of a spiritually practicing community, whatever that definition is, religious, organized, whatever defining word you want to use, for, at that point, half my life.
And think about numbers. I love numbers. Numbers have a lot of power. And to be at that point where you are just as many years of not without that community as you previously were, whether by choice or just the way you were raised, I didn't think, as we talked as well, that as many queer people feel with religious and organized spiritual trauma, if we'll coin that with groups or congregations, I will never see myself in a place like this ever again. Those are unfortunate things that run through our head. I will never be part of a religious or spiritual group. I will never be accepted. Right, that's things we battle in our head. And there's this beautiful book that Mariette also gifted me for my birthday, Affirmations for Queer People. That has been a wonderful thing to enjoy. And I still pinch myself that I'm a queer gay drag queen on stage with my queer minister, with so many LGBT people that are involved and help make Unity tick. And I will say, comedically, I love the incredible Jennifer Coolidge. And in one of her movies, she says, you know, the gays just know how to do stuff, you know? And I really just, it means the world to like know that I get to be part of this place ticking. And so many other amazing queer people as well. But I still pinch myself like I'm actually here. Like this exists, this community exists. It is healthy. It is teamwork. It is open and it's accepting. And, you know, RuPaul always asks the finalist of every season, what would you say to like little 10-year-old Adam, and holds up a picture. And I would say, you'll find your home. You'll find your home spiritually, and I have.
Right.
It means everything.
So what do you think the LGBTQ people, and really all people, most need from spiritual communities today?
Like this book, Affirmations. Whether you have queer people in your life, and again, the word queer has become acceptable. If you want to say gay or queer or LGBT, however, there are a lot of letters, and I'm still relearning the alphabet as well. Sometimes we trip over letters here and there, but if you want to say queer or gay or the pride community, whether you are fluent or not, don't be afraid to ask earnestly. Please ask questions. Have that bit of Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus. Take chances, make mistakes, and get messy with respect. Please ask questions. Please know, regardless of whoever it is, a compliment can go a mile around the world. A compliment, or finding something that's genuine you want to say or compliment, or even a quick Google search, RuPaul. If you know one fact about RuPaul, you have our attention. You know what I mean? Like, as it's great to get to know anyone if you just look up even one thing, and to be able to connect. That's what it's all about, is connection. And so,
and that's why this conversation really is matters for everyone, because every person longs to be seen, every person longs to be welcomed, every person longs to be affirmed. This is not just an LGBTQ need. It is a human need for all of us. So let's widen our lens just a little bit. I want to bring us into the idea of pride as a collective awakening, not just personal, not just individual, but something that invites the whole world into a greater truth, greater compassion, and greater authenticity. So, Adam, when you think of pride spiritually, not socially or politically, what comes up for you?
The rainbow, diversity, like unity. All the colors come together to make white. All the colors come from white. And one of my oldest things, I didn't bring it today because I had a gig last night and I didn't pack it with everything over at my friend's house before I came here today. But I have my little prism that I got for Christmas one year. It's one of my oldest possessions I own. And for white light to come in and become the spectrum, right? The visible spectrum of rainbow. And then for all of it to also be shot, like go back into a prison and come out as white again. The rainbow, not just the queer community diversity, but look how beautiful our community is. I see so many different people every single week and in our community, and celebrating difference and diversity and DEI, diversity, ed, and inclusion. Absolutely.
So before we move, we're going to be closing here shortly, but I want to bring in something that you shared. You've already shared a little bit about this book here. We were talking as we were planning this, and the subject of the 5 love languages, some of you may be familiar with that. There's a book on it. It may be new to some of you, so the idea is simple. Different people experience love in different ways. For some people, it is felt most deeply through quality time. For others, it's acts of service. For some, it's receiving gifts. For others, it's physical touch. And for many, it's words of affirmation, hearing spoken truth about one's worth, beauty, and goodness. And Adam said something when we were talking that really struck me, and that is that for the LGBTQ community, the number one love language is words of affirmation, not just from others, but from ourselves. And the more I sat with that, the more I realized how universal it is. Every person in this room knows what it feels like to doubt themselves. Every person in this room knows what it feels like to need encouragement. Every person in this room knows what it feels like to long for someone or for themselves to say, "You're worthy, you're loved, you are enough. You're whole. You are the truth of God expressing." And that is a message that we say over and over again at Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor here. So when Adam says that words of affirmation matter, he's naming something universal. We need to speak kindly to ourselves. We need to affirm our worth. We need to bless our own becoming. Because living as the truth of who we are begins on how we speak to ourselves with the inner language of love. So as we move to close, Adam brought something very special to share. He was giving this book by Mariette, and give it the name, and then you have a few affirmations that you'd like to.
Yes, this is the,
share.
And again, like there's a book on affirmations that just like speaks for itself regarding the love languages. All love languages are important, but because that's the one we can really have a relationship externally and internally, that's why affirmations are so important with each other, but also with ourselves. And also, having more than one part of your identity, if you do have a drag identity, if you do have another part of your existence too, your relationship with that other side of yourself, that character or that art form, that's another relationship you need to have a good relationship with, because one should not outshine the other. You are the human first, and your artistic self should never make your human self be only a shadow. And that's why this book really hit me from that perspective right there. So I'd like to read these two. So I'll start with this one and then finish with the other one. So I like to add the word radical acceptance, the word radical in front, to radically accept that this is who I am. And as the movie from Greatest Showman, the movie, the song, "This is me." Mm-hmm. That is a declaration to yourself and to the world. So this affirmation, I accept myself as I am at this moment. And again, thank you, Mariette, for this book, which she picked up from one of the universities in Michigan. With so many societal pressures and expectations upon us, it is critical to wholeheartedly accept yourself. If you can accept your unique journey, you can celebrate your experiences and identities without judgment, internal and external. This is your daily reminder to love yourself unconditionally as you are. You don't have to wait to give yourself permission to love and accept yourself. To satisfy this affirmation when you wake up is to start your day on the right foot. And this other one that I just feel is important from the perspective of our phone call we had, that as queer people, as one thing kind of drops out of life, or one thing's taken away, or one thing doesn't work out, like a spiritual community, you start to become kind of life blind. I don't see myself belonging to a spiritual community. I don't see a relationship or partnership down my road. I don't see that we continue to challenge, right? And the power of unlearning. Yeah, we talk about learning all the time, and we learn for decades of our life. What about unlearning? We need to unlearn. Yeah. And that means the power, yes, thank you. And that means the power to rewrite. Maybe not what did happen, but your trajectory. And this is, I deserve a full and happy life. Your orientation or gender identity should never be a barrier to living a life of joy and purpose. Embrace this reminder to prioritize self-care, the pursuit of your passions, and surround yourself with positive influence that lift up and support you. And I'll add to that, even when you don't have those, go to the places and the things that do make you feel good about yourself. You deserve nothing than a life that is vibrant and overflowing with happiness. You are enough.
You are enough, absolutely. So I want to ask you one more question as I begin to close. How can we, as a spiritual community, continue to live our mission in ways that uplift and empower the queer community? And all people, not just one group, but all people.
You have all opened and welcomed me here and at home, and those not with us physically today. You have all welcomed me with open arms, and I thank you. If you can please continue to make your spaces open and safe for us, I promise you we will bring nothing but our rainbow of light and energy and lots of fabulous shoes. There's nothing, listen, like Jennifer Coolidge said in her movie, the gays just know how to do stuff. And when you are open and willing, and we know that you are queer adjacent and supportive and empowering, you will have nothing but a wonderful time with welcoming us, because we are just so grateful you have welcomed us. So please keep being open. Keep asking, not being afraid to ask polite, respectful questions. And preface if you want to ask a question. Be like, I think I'm going to say this wrong. I think I might not know how to say or ask this. That's okay. We're all what? Having a human experience as spiritual beings. And we're learning while unlearning. Including when you ask a question, you're going to unlearn something and be like, that's the answer from a person of the source. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Continue to open up your spaces. And we've been through a lot. We've all been through a lot, regardless of orientation. But as queer people, we've been through a lot. We just want to have a great time with everyone and celebrate that rainbow. So keep being open, and thank you for being open to me for all these years. It means the world. I still pinch myself.
So... Thank you, Adam. So, Pride is a celebration of God expressing uniquely, beautifully, and unapologetically through every one of us. When we honor the truth of who we are, we honor the divine. And when we welcome one another fully, we awaken the world. And with those closing words, I want to just let us go ahead, and I want to guide us into our meditation. So if everyone would just make yourself comfortable in your seat, close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Let's just take a moment and allow our body to settle in the chair the pew, and just allow your breath, start noticing your breath and let it soften a bit. And allow the mind to just quiet as we bring our attention fully to this present moment. We've spoken today about identity, authenticity, and the truth of who we are. But beneath all of that, beneath every role, every story, every label, there is something deeper. There is the self with that capital S that does not change. The self that is not defined by gender or orientation or age or history or circumstance. The self that is pure awareness. The self that is pure spirit, pure presence. So let yourself rest in that right now. Let yourself rest in that pure awareness, that pure spirit, that pure presence, the truth of who you are. Feel the body, but notice that you are not the body. And feel any emotions that come up, but notice that you are not the emotions. And notice any thoughts that come up, but notice that you are not the thoughts. You are the one who is aware. You are the light behind the personality. You are the Christ within, the divine expressing as you. So let your breath now just deepen slightly. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. And as you do so, just release anything that obscures your truth. So we're going to rest right now. Rest in that awareness. Rest in silence. In the presence that has always been here. We're going to rest in that just for a little while in the silence. So now bring your awareness back to this room gently, back to your breath, back to the body. And as you do so, carry the remembrance of who you truly are. You are whole. You are holy. You are beloved. You are divine. And so it is. Amen. So thank you, Adam, again for sharing. And I do want to remind you that we'll be upstairs and we'll be open to questions upstairs in the hospitality room if anybody has any questions or would like to pursue this further. So, Adam, do you have any last words to say?
One of the most beautiful things about this experience with this community is it's that as spiritual as the service is, as an Italian that I talk about to in nauseam, that we gather afterwards for everything that we talk about and celebrate, and just please continue to come after service to have those conversations, to have those beautiful moments, to have those little nuggets that you're like, I'm a better person because I not only went to service today, but because I had time with amazing people upstairs. So I thank you every week for that we're able to be here. And just, join upstairs. Let's have some coffee. Let's have some Snapple.
So as we come to the close of our Sunday experience, we do take a moment to honor the generosity that sustains this community. So everything that we do here is made possible because each of you shows up in love. So our love offering box, Adam, that was... That's okay. I'll say it for you. Our love offering box is over here in the front of the platform, and you're welcome to place your financial gift there as you leave. You can also give by e-transfer or by hitting the donate button in our newsletter and on our website. And the donate button will take you directly to Canada Helps, where you can make a safe donation. So if you have any prayer requests, our prayer box is right here, and there are prayer slips. So if you have anyone in your life or maybe yourself that you would like our prayer team to pray with you or pray for, they will be glad to do that. Just put the name and the request of the prayer in the prayer box, and our prayer chaplain team will hold them in prayer, or you. So let's take a quiet breath together as we take a moment and rest in the awareness of Spirit. Rest in the awareness of Spirit that has always been here, is always here. It is that in which we live and that we move and we have our being. It is steady, it is loving, and it is expressing uniquely through each and every one of us right now. So we give thanks for that truth of who we are, for the courage to live authentically, and for the beauty of the divine expressing as every person in our community. So as we move into our time of giving, we do so from gratitude and from openness and from the deep knowing that our generosity is an extension of the love that lives in us. So I invite you to join me right now in speaking our love offering prayer, which is on the screen. Divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And now?
Now invite you all to please stand as we say the prayer for protection together and our closing song, the peace song. The light of the love surrounds us.
We are light.
The love of the divine unfolds us.
We are love.
The peace of the love fills us.
And we are peace.
The power of love protects us.
We are power.
The presence of love watches over us.
We are presence.
And wherever we are, love is.
And all is divine.
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. And please join us upstairs for a conversation and refreshments and some good conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much today. Thank you, Ibrahim, as well, for audio and video and everything as well. And we'll see you upstairs. Thank you. I love Wow, I didn't want you to miss today of all days. Thank you. Open to coming.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap